Hello friends. Due to lockdown, your exam pattern has been changed. Instead of two papers, there are instead of two papers, the exam SSC public examinations are going to be conducted in only one paper for each subject. Instead of 50-50, only one paper that gives you 100 marks is going to be conducted. And for that, the pattern is changed. So 100 marks pattern and 3 hours 15 minutes is given. Let's see first, observe what is the pattern here. You have three sections of the question paper. Section 1 carries reading comprehension, and 1 to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to 10, 11 to 15, these are the questions, and 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of reading comprehensions are given. Reading passages or poem or a prose from the text like that can be given. And finally 11 to 15 questions are nothing but study skills based on the data. That is something like a graph or any table or any such kind of data can be given, and questions are asked on that data. So total 30 marks that you can secure from section A. And coming to section B, all grammar aspects as well as vocabulary aspects are going to be tested, and these are with varied ways of questioning patterns. And total marks that you are going to get from this particular section, that is 40 marks. And the final section, that is section C, creative expression. Here you have a choice. For a 33 question you have conversation or diary entry. Either of this has to be answered. For that you have 10 marks. In 34, question number 34, letter writing or biographical sketch, this is also a choice. You can choose one between these two, and this also gives you 10 marks. 35 question that has framing WH word questions. The para can be given and some words are underlined, and you have to frame a question, WH word question, that can have the answer which is underlined in the para. So that you have to answer, or you have a choice of information transfer. There is an information transfer, means any table or graph, pie chart can be given, and you have to transfer that into text. So the information can be transferred to text. So total you have 30 marks for reading comprehension in section A, grammar and vocabulary in section B, section C, that is creative expression. So total 30, 40, 30, total 100 marks you are going to secure in your English paper that you are going to write in very soon, right, in July. So first, for section 1, there is only passage can be given, and you have to answer them by by getting information from the passage and out of the passage sometimes. And now see, I'm going to give you the details are easy tips or easy ways to answer question number 16 to question number 32 with different videos. Through different videos I'm going to create. uh, that's why first you please subscribe the channel and click on bell icon so that the videos can be regularly reached to you. So first I'm going to start question number 16. Question number 16. See, the question number 16, that is combine the sentences using relative clause. So relative clause. Relative clauses. Relative clause. So what we call relative clause. Relative clause that has a relative pronoun. What is relative pronoun? Relative pronoun. What is relative pronoun? See, WH words like who, whom, which, where, when. These are all actually called relative pronouns. And if a clause consists of this pronoun, that is called relative clause. Here, two sentences are given. Two sentences are given to you, and you are asked to combine these two sentences with any of these relative pronoun, that is which is suitable here as per the combination. So here I'm going to explain how you can easily answer this particular question. See, relative pronoun, that is who, whom, which. These are the crucial pronouns that most of the time you get in the examination. You have where, when, why also, but the main focus will be on this, especially on who. So that's why try to understand in a very clear manner. See, first, two clauses can be given. So in these two clauses you have to add combine these two clauses using relative pronoun. For example, who. How to add who? See, for example, it's a relative pronoun. When it is a relative pronoun, automatically it talks about a noun. Pronoun always talk about noun, yes or no? So that's why you have to search for a noun. So relative pronoun who will go with the noun. Then the relative pronoun with its clause can be combined. How? Let me clarify this. Suppose we have two sentences. Raju is a student. He has come to see me. Here, Raju is a student is one clause. He has come to see me, another clause. Now, how to add who here? Who is a relative pronoun, and that is added to noun. Now see, Raju is a noun in the sentence. Student also noun in the sentence. Now only two things are there in this sentence. So two nouns are there. Now there is a possibility of adding this who either to Raju or to student. So the remaining sentence can be added. For example, if I add to Raju, Raju who is a student, now this part has to be added. Remember, you should not add he here. You know why? Because this is who consists a relative clause, and Raju goes with the main verb here. So that's why directly this part has come to see me. So Raju has come to see me, actual sentence. Now who is Raju? I want to get more information about Raju. So that's why I add who is a student. So who is a student is a extra part to give information about Raju. So this is relative clause. Now the relative clause can be added to noun. Remember, relative clause can be added to noun. You can write the same sentence in another way. See, Raju who has come to see me, this part is a student. is a student. So then what happened? From who to see me is relative clause, and is a student is a part of main clause. So Raju is a student. Now, which Raju? Who is that Raju? So Raju, who has come to see me. I'm giving additional information about Raju here. So Raju, who has come to see me, is a student. So then, this is how you can add relative clause, and you can combine relative clause and main clause with who. This is how you have to add a relative clause in a sentence. Let's take another example. Nick is a torso. He lives in America. See, Nick is a torso. He lives in America. Now we have Nick as a noun. So, is a torso. He lives in America. Here also you can make two sentences. Nick, who is a torso, no he here, lives in America. That's it. So Nick, who is a torso, lives in America. So my actual sentence, Nick lives in America. Now which Nick? Who is that Nick? I'm going to give extra information about Nick. Nick, who is a torso, means the person who is a torso, that Nick, especially that Nick. There will be there is a possibility of many Nicks in America, right? So that's why Nick, who lives in who is a torso, lives in America. You can also write a sentence like this: Nick, who lives in America, is a torso. Have you observed this? So you are writing relative pronoun, and in the second sentence you are not adding any pronoun here. Remember, this is wrong. So who lives in America is a torso. Nick, who lives in America, is a torso. Nick, who is a torso, lives in America. So what are you doing now? You are adding relative clause to a noun. Remember, noun. Only noun takes the relative clause. Soon after the noun, you have to add relative clause. For example, if I write a sentence like this, see, we bought a book. It was written by APJ Abdul Kalam. Suppose here we bought a book. Now the noun book. For this you need to add which. You need to combine this sentence with which. Now which is actually relative pronoun used for indicating the noun which is object. Here Nick is a person, so that's why I use who. And book is the object, so that's why I use which. So soon after the book, which has to be added. What happens? Relative pronoun comes soon after the noun to which it talks about, right? About which it relates. So that's why we bought a book. Now which, now can it be written? No, it should not be written directly. Which was written by APJ Abdul Kalam. Understand? Now, is it clear? He bought a book which was written by APJ Abdul Kalam. This is how you can add which relative pronoun. It's a relative clause. Remember, relative relative pronoun that comes with noun. Soon after noun, you have to add relative pronoun. So that means who or which or whom, whatever it may be. And then there will be one clause. Then you have a remaining clause of this noun. So this noun goes with this clause actually, and you are going to give additional information about the noun by adding relative clause. Is that okay? Let me write one example with whom. See, Geeta is a doctor. We respect her. And you need to observe one thing here. For who and whom, you are writing directly without it or without he. But here we need to write we for whom, because it's a relative pronoun that talks about a object, sufferer. See, Geeta, whom, yeah, where you have to add relative pronoun with a noun. Yes, this is noun. This noun takes whom we respect is a doctor, right? Geeta, whom we respect is a doctor. See, relative pronoun. This is relative clause. Here we have relative clause with relative pronoun, and this relative pronoun is talking about Geeta. Since Geeta is a noun, we add relative clause here. We are giving additional information about Geeta. Geeta, whom we respect. గీత ఎవరినైతే మేము రెస్పెక్ట్ చేస్తామో ఈజ్ ద డాక్టర్. సో గీత ఈజ్ ద డాక్టర్. దట్ ఈస్ మై యాక్చువల్ సెంటెన్స్. గీత ఈజ్ ద డాక్టర్ ఈజ్ మై యాక్చువల్ సెంటెన్స్. But I am giving extra information about Geeta. What is that? Whom we respect. That is additional information. So let me write another example. Meena ran across the road. We took her to the market. So what happened here? So Meena, it's a noun, right? Now we can add relative clause. We took her to market is a with whom can be added. Whom we took to the market. Whom we took to the market ran across the road. That's it. Easy. Now finally, I'll give another example with who to make you easy. Right? Because who is very, very important than anything else. See, with who, we are going to create one example. Rahil is a brave man. Rahil is a brave man. He works in army. See here, relative pronoun who can be added. Now to add who, it's a relative pronoun, then Rahil noun is a clue. So soon after Rahil noun, we add who, and then you can delete this one. Automatically what will happen? You get one sentence. See, Rahil, who is a brave man. Now do we have he here? No. Works in army. So what happened? Who is a brave man is a relative clause. Talks about Rahil noun. Then actual sentence, Rahil works in army. Rahil works in army. I'm giving extra information. Rahil, who is a brave man, works in army. Now I can also write a sentence like this. Rahil, who works in army, the remaining sentence, is a brave man. Is a brave man. So, who works in army is a relative clause. Talks about Rahil noun. Is that okay? So Rahil noun is the clue where you have to add relative clause. Soon after the noun you have to add relative clause. With who? With who works in army. Then soon after that you have to go with verb directly. So you need not to write this he. Is that okay? So this is about question 16. This is how you have to answer question number 16. You need to combine two sentences by using relative clause. So most of the time you get who in your examination. That is what the expected thing. And hope you understand this particular aspect of combining two sentences with relative pronoun. And please you can subscribe and also click on bell icon and write your comments. If you click on bell icon, what will happen, whatever the videos I'm going to upload for the remaining questions, those will come to you directly. So have a nice day. Thank you very much. Soon I'll upload another video. Have a nice day. Thank you.